Hello everyone, welcome back to the Nerds from Canada, and we are continuing. Today we are going to be opening our first booster pack, hoping we get an epic legendary. Guaranteeing we'll get a rare because we're going to open the super booster. The regular boosters, you may get a rare, may not, but you only get 3 cards, so the chances are you won't get a rare very often. So let's go to their store and see what we've got. Booster packs. We don't want the normal, but here's what the normal has. A small pack contains 3 random cards from the Rise set, guaranteed to contain at least 1 uncommon, but only guaranteed an uncommon. The Super Booster, which is 15, a pack containing 15 random cards from the Riser set, guaranteed to contain at least 3 uncommon cards and 1 rare card. Now that's the Rise normal. Now the core is the same thing. It's just the core is what they had at the beginning. The Rise is the new expansion. We're going to open a core super pack to start with. So let's see. We've got that. Unlock it with IP. Need password. And unlock the IP. Okay. We have an infectious zombie. Useful if you want to play him. Unless you put him in your command, you can only have 3 of these guys. We do already have like 4 or 5 of them, I think. So, it's a spare. One of many. It's the unlimited, so to a certain extent useful. Night of the Flame Dawn, we got plenty of these. Ghost of the Ancestors, now that's a useful one. We don't have very many of these. I think we've got 2 that we got through all the doing the campaign and getting their starter decks and the expanders that the expansion packs they give away as the campaign rewards or daily logins. Rita's Thrall, another one. This is another one of those cards. It's useful to have like 3 of them. After that, useless. Airborne Scientist. Flyers are always useful to an extent. Same again. 3. I don't think we actually had 3 Airborne Scientists, so that's nice. Genesis Construct. Another limit 3. Flame Dawn. Unlimited. If you're playing a huge Flame Dawn deck, useful, but we've got like 35 of these now. Secluded in Constructor, I think I've got 5. Again. And another flyer. We only had 2 of these guys, so this is a useful card for us. Useful if you don't have any, but once you got 1 or 2 of these in your deck, you don't need any more. We already have 4 or 5 of those. Varoria, the Lone Keep. Once again, you only need 1 of these, but you can have up to 3, so it increases your chances if you have them. We had 1 Varoria, so this doubles our chance of getting a location. Ooh, a rare. We had 2 rares, it looks like. The Unstable Bombot. This one's really cool and really useful. We only had 1 of these, so this is a real good card for our Genesis deck. At the start of each turn, you may pay 2. If you do, Unstable Bombot gets +4/+0. If not, Unstable Bombot explodes, dealing damage equal to its power to every character in a combat zone. So, if you just pull him out and don't pay him at all, you do 8 damage to everybody, which wipes out most regular units. If you pump him for a couple of turns, you can wipe out all but the really buffed up guys. Oh, Bromwich, Field Commander. We didn't have any of these, so this is good. And he gives +2 to all the flame guys, so really good to get him out into combat. Buffs up their attack value. Alright, good deck. And Bromwich and Bombot. So, we already had a Bombot, but it's a Genesis deck. It's very slow to build. The Flame deck is what I was thinking about using to go ahead and run through the rest of the campaign when we get our choice of decks, so we will be doing deck building. So, return, and let's go build a deck. We're going to make a new deck. Not bothering to save that one. So the new one will be Casting Flames. Create. We're going to start with all our flame units. We have 6 aerial commandos, which is just enough to guarantee that we can get our maximum allotment of these guys by putting 3 in command slots and 3 in the deck. That gives us 6 flyers potentially in the game. We definitely want this guy, and while I'd love to have him start as a commander, that also means that he's going to be sitting there the entire game for the opponent to sit there and contemplate saving up the assassination card to use on him. So we'll put him into the deck so we can hold him in our hand and use him when it's ready without the opponent having more than that one turn. That way they won't hold on to the assassinate card. They'll either use it or recycle it. Alright. Now there's our core. We got 42 of these, so moving on to the others, we'll save them for last. Wait a second. Is there a limit of 42 to a stack? Flame Dawn Aspirant and Flame Dawn Aspirant. They're the same one. I guess it stacks up to 42 and then it starts a new stack. Wow. Bummer. That means you're going to have like lots of these guys in time. That's probably a coding error because 42 is just a really bizarre number to stop your stack at. So moving to this guy, Flame Dawn Footman. We have 11 of them. They're a 1-pointer. They only cost 2 morale if we lose them. These cost 3. So you want to use these guys whenever you can if you know you're going to be losing them in mass. But we only get 3. These ones are cool. When a Flame Dawn Purifier kills a character, that character is removed from the game. Really nice if you want to guarantee they can't resurrect something, but it's the right time, right place. Difficult to make use of that ability. But we put them in because they are 8/8s and they only cost 3 points. Flame Rams, really awesome if you can get them to work, but very problematical. So I leave them out of the deck. Yeah, these guys have charge. Whenever you play Harbinger of Light, return target character on the battlefield to the support zone. You get to basically boot out one of the opponent's battlefield characters and send them back to support when this one comes out. They're only 8/8 and you're paying 2 extra points for that ability, but it's really good to like make sure their big golem type, their super tank gets booted out for that turn so you get a clean line of attack. So unfortunately we only have 2. These are an uncommon card, so we didn't get a lot of them. Kali, the Flaming Blade, a unique character. So we can only have 1 of her on the battlefield at a time, but we could have 3 in the deck. I only have 1 copy of her though. When Kali deals damage to a character, that character becomes immolated, taking 5 damage at the start of every turn. Which basically is a guaranteed kill. It just, you may have to wait 3, 4, 5 turns. But if they don't keep healing that character up, well, every turn it takes 5 points of damage. And that works even if Kali's dead. So, you know, she's only got 8 health. And Flame Dawn doesn't exactly have a lot of buff up your HP stats in a pure flame deck. So I wish I had 3 of her, because she basically is, you know, killed off pretty quick. Knight of the Flame Dawn, 2 points, 5 morale loss. He's a 7/7, so don't especially want to lose these guys, but, you know, take them if you got them. I would have sworn I had more than 1 of these guys. Oh, wow. Okay, it did it again. It broke it at 8. Okay, it's definitely a card ID issue then. So, that's beta for you. But it doesn't give me the 3rd one. The ID is wrong for the display, but it's right for the card tracking. Bizarre. And this guy I love. Paladin of the Flame Dawn. Paladin of the Flame Dawn cannot be killed from non-damage sources. They can't use, you know, spells to kill him with. They got to attack him. So, but he's only a 6/6, so he's not exactly somebody they highly target. But if you had a hybrid deck where you could buff him up It would be really awesome. As it is, I still like him because he's got that charge, 6/6, and he's only 2 points to get out. And they're so used to the 4/2s that are stock in trade, this guy comes out and he's good for anchoring the line early in the game if you can get him. Now, this guy I like to take because of his ability. He's 4 points to get out, 8 morale loss, and he's only an 8/8. But when he comes into play, each opponent's fortress takes damage equal to twice the number of characters you currently control. So on top of his basic value, for that one turn you bring him out, you get to do 6, 8, 10, 12 points of damage to their fortress. So really good if you go late game and they start getting good defenses up to hold you back. Usually by then you'll have ground them down pretty low. If you can have a decent stack out, this guy might be enough to give you a killing blow on him. And Torchbearer. When Torch comes into play, your opponent loses 3 health. He's only a 1-pointer. Unfortunately, he has no charge or anything, so you do have to hold him for a turn. And he's only 4/4, so he's still easy as pie to kill. But he comes with 3 points of free damage on theirs, so I always take those. I've only got 2 of them, but looking forward to getting my 3rd. Now, the Vicious Ransacker is a good one to take, and I often see him show up in the command slots because of his ability, his benefit. When Ransack deals damage to a player's fortress, all characters in the player's support zone take 3 damage. So all those low, 2/2s or 0/2s or 4/2s, whatever they have sitting inside their support zone, if this guy gets through and deals damage, he can just decimate their ranks. So for those ones where they, like the Sorcerer deck, where the Death Cult sits there and they collect your kill, well, all those new Death Cults that just got in the last turn or two don't have any bonus on them. This guy does 3 points of damage, so you can kill some of them. And drones, they're real good against Genesis too. And make everybody else a little vulnerable when they get through. And if you manage to get all 3 of them through, that's 9 points of damage. That kills a lot of stuff. Bloodbath, it takes 3 purity. It's the only card in the deck so far that I have that takes 3 purity. But move all your characters on the battlefield into the assault zone and move all opponents' characters on the battlefield into the defense zone. Your characters attack twice this turn. It takes 8 points to get out. I've never successfully managed to use this card. It just hasn't worked out because it takes 8, but late in the game, they usually have, if they have enough on the battlefield, they usually have more troops than I do, so that whole getting to attack twice is useless. And basically all it does is mean that, well, they won't attack you this turn, but you're still going to lose all your troops because now they're going to attack twice. So if they didn't get killed the first time, they will get killed the second time. So you're going to have a complete army wipe, and they'll probably still have it. So this is one of those where it's like, when it does work, it should work awesome, but I have not had it work right yet. It's an epic card though, so I'll include it. I usually don't. Actually, for the campaign play, we'll remove it. We would rather not have a card we're just going to recycle if we draw it, or have it set and fill our hand. But for ranked play, might be something. Might be something if you had a really, really awesome deck with, like, all these uniques and special ones. Actually, you had 3s of them. But since I don't have a lot of them, it's like I've only got a 1 out of 3 here, 1 out of 3 here, 2 out of 3 here. That's 8 cards right there, right? 2, 4, 5. No, 5 cards right there. 6, 7. 7 cards that I could make use of on the Bloodbath, but don't have them. So I won't usually have more than 2 or 3 of these in a line. So I just don't have that single hit power to go 2 attacks without losing the card. So that's Bloodbath. Now this one, the Burning Prejudice, really useful card. I've got 2. I'm looking forward to getting my 3rd. Return target character in a combat zone and all other characters with the same name to their owner's support zones. They become exhausted next turn. It's just awesome for clearing out defense lines that are made up of all the same characters. It's just like if they could send back our aspirants, you know. If they use that on us, well, the aspirants usually make up half or more of our attackers. So that's like half our attack line gone, setting it out on the bench for the turn. So always take these. Now, we got 10 of these. You can only have 3. They're an ability, so there's no way to put them in the command. So all you ever get is 3. So, but it's a common card, so you're going to get lots of those. Now, exhaust, good. Move target character in a combat zone to the support zone. At the start of the next turn, it becomes exhausted. So they flee the battlefield this turn, and they have to set out next turn. So this one's basically a 2-turn stun on somebody. So these are good. This one is really incredibly useful if you're going against a major deck build relying on spells and stuff. Preemptive, which means it goes off before anything else. Target character you control cannot die from a non-damage source. So no lightning bolts, no, you know, special strike them dead remotely. They only die in combat, or they can be booted out and, you know, forced to go somewhere else and get killed somewhere else in a later turn. But this turn, they cannot die from any of those lightning spells or word of death or anything like that. So put that in. Stumble. Return target character in combat zone to its controller support zone. Clears the enemy line, so if they have that super tank and you just want to get through that one turn, you can pull them out. So put those in. They're not nearly as good as exhaust, but exhaust costs 3, stumbles only cost 1. Now this one, unfazed. Preemptive. You cannot lose morale this turn. Remove unfazed from the game. This card is really useful if you know they're going to have a mass kill off on you this turn. That way you basically don't lose all that morale. So, and of course this. I wish I had 2 more of these so I could guarantee getting them reasonably quickly. So that's our home base. At the end of each turn, creates a 4/2 flame down aspirant in the assault zone. Always take that one. There are some armies you will not want to play that against, because that 4/2 automatically going into the attack zone is only going to be useful the first few turns. After that, it's not. I'm thinking primarily Veror, the Death Cult, because they get +2 to their Death Cultists for every character they kill, and 4/2s are easy to kill. So it's like basically giving them a free +2 to all their Death Cultists every single turn. Okay, that's that. So let's go to our core. Now, as you can see down here, it says deck legality, illegal. A deck must be a minimum of 40 cards, and we only have 37. Now, we don't want just 3 of these guys in our deck. They are kind of our staple in trade for early game victories. But we don't want a whole huge pile of them. 42 more of these would be just killer, because late game they're not very useful. They usually become detrimental after about turn 9 or 10. So we'll take 13 of these, make it an even 50 card deck. That means that we should have a reasonable expectation of starting with 2 of these, maybe 3 in our deck right at the start, so we will be able to start attacking them on turn 1 and have these guys consistently for a while. Alright, so let's save it. And let's go test it out on the campaign. So we'll do our first campaign. Now we finished the Veror campaign. Did we not finish the Veror campaign? Yeah, I can't remember. I won't have to check my video. That's what I get for sleeping since the last casting. Alright, we're going to go play PvP game. We'll exit the campaign, and we'll try this out on a search game. So, unranked, any of those. Well, let's go for standard. We don't want hypers or epics. Those favor the mid and long game opponents usually. So, at the normal setting. So let's search, and let's go ahead and use our Casting Flames deck. Let's see what we got. Who are we facing? Panic Panel. Congratulations, Panic Panel. You get to be included in our casting. Alright, yep, we got 2 of these. So, out he goes. End our turn. Oh, and he is playing 2 Flame Dons and a Siphoner. So he's a Flame deck primarily too. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit him hard then. Put out 2 of these guys. In the turn. Now, we've got this guy we can bring out and beat on him 1 more turn. So he's going to bring the Siphoner next, I bet. Unless he's actually drawn something good. Nope. He moved to defense. Going to carve up our troops some. Interesting, our first match is against a so even though we got a slight lead in offensive numbers because he started with those 2 big guys, he has managed to do more damage to us. But now we can return the favor, move this guy there, put this guy on to attack, and we don't want to spend too much time, so let's go with our flyers and bring this guy out. We want to get this guy ground up as fast as we can. Ouch. Yep, he did good damage. So we want to block him again. I think we'll sacrifice 1 of these to kill off these 2. That'll let the Siphoner get through, but that should be it unless he has an aspirant this turn. And we can bring her up and send that guy back. So we should be able to wipe it and take no damage except maybe from an aspirant this round. But we are going to lose our flyer probably. Still, it'll let us catch up on damage if we can do that. Of course, next round he's going to have those 2 back out, so it'll be ouch. He did get through with the Siphoner. Alright, but we got another one of her. So that's nice. Let's play this one, and let's get rid of one of these. Since it's coming out, move her to defense. And let's play a stumble on him. Keep him out for a turn. All right. Yay, we got just ahead of him in damage, but now he's got that free attacker out. It's like, damn it. So, He's gonna. It's a toss-up. He could put those 7/7s to start or at the late. So let's go ahead and put this guy first. Put this out and put out both our flyers. This is going to go right down to the wire. We're probably going to end up with a draw. No, we managed to squeak it through. Yes. Well, thank you for participating in the casting today, Panic Panel. You were a worthy opponent. Well, there you go. That's our new deck. We'll be using that for the campaign on the next episode. Thank you all for joining, and I'll see you then.